What is up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Today's video topic deals with my favorite type of meal, and that is the cheat meal. Now, this is something that has a few contradictions to it. There are many people who disagree with the idea, the concept of a cheat meal. There's people that feel that there should be a cheat day, let alone just a cheat meal. So I'm here to kind of tell you what I do and give some suggestions on whether or not you should do a cheat day, cheat meal, what have you. So let's talk about the cheat day. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, a cheat day is an entire day of binge eating of excess amount of foods that aren't relatively healthy or part of your nutritional plan. So things like pizza, things like French fries, burgers, something that isn't a staple of the usual clean eating grid when it comes to what most people who are trying to maintain or gain muscle, lose fat, whatever. Something that isn't part of that eating plan. So I'm personally against the whole concept of a cheat day because for me, unless you have been doing something so strict and disciplined, such as preparing for a fitness show, a physique show, where you have done weeks and weeks and weeks of rigorous training and analytical and so strict measurements of food that you're practically starving yourself. That is to me the only time you should really do that cheat day is when you're coming off the rebound of that off season, the day after your show or the night after your show. For me, I think the average Joe or the person, even if you're not training for a show, but a person who works out a decent amount, should try to avoid the cheat day because, in my opinion, it is relatively detrimental to you because you can go really overboard and you can totally wipe out all the progress that you made that prior days in the gym just from that one day of ridiculous, unnecessary eating of unhealthy foods. So for me, I do one meal, and that would be always 9 times out of 10 it's on a Friday, because for me it's just easier to get into the weekend, and I would rather have my cheat day in the latter half of the week, because I feel if you did it on a Monday or a Tuesday, there's some possibility that you might want that other cheat somewhere down the week. So for me, it's Friday. It's something to look forward to. And for me, 9 times out of 10, it's the same thing. It's either fried tofu or fried General Tso's. Now, some people are going to look at me and think that's a cheat meal, fried tofu. But for me, my eating is so clean. I'll say it's 95% of my diet is very analytical and very clean. That I feel that fried tofu, that General Tso's, is good enough of a cheat meal for me. Now, I know people who down a whole pizza. For me, I do love pizza, but for me, I'm the type of person that, yeah, it's a cheat meal, but that pizza, I'd be, my mind would think, dude, you shouldn't have eaten that whole pizza. That was completely unnecessary. So really, it's a preference, but for me, it's that General Tso, it's that Chinese. I absolutely love it. So try to be smart about your cheat meals. Now, we have this whole concept of if it fits your macros, meaning, I tell people that you could have two Big Macs. Uh, for the rest of the day, though, you're probably going to have salads with no cheese, no croutons, and maybe a tablespoon of dressing. And at the end of the day, your calories, your fats, your carbs, your protein, would look good if you just wrote down not what you ate, but just the macronutrients, the carbs, the protein, the calories, all that stuff. If you just did those two Whoppers and the rest of the day salad, minimal dressing, it would look great. So that whole if it fits your macros kind of cancels out the whole cheat meal because, I could have General Tso's every single day. It's just I'd have to, balance it out for the rest of the day. But for me, I'd rather just go, 6 days, 5 days out of the week with really, really pretty good clean eating that, I'm still eating foods that I love, but that Friday, I know I earned it. And for me, there's, nothing beats Chinese. I absolutely love it. So just be smart about your cheat meal. Try to be consistent about it, usually the same time, same day. and just have an idea of what you're going to eat. Don't try to bank calories because it's a cheat meal. You deserved it, but on the other hand, be smart about it. I can't say this enough. Just don't go overboard. It's a cheat meal. Don't take leftovers. You eat what's there on the table, on the plate while you're at that restaurant, and forget about it, because when you take it home, that's a second cheat meal. So eat what's on your plate. When you're done, leave it at the restaurant for the waiter or waitress to take. That is it when it comes to the cheat meal. It could be anything technically, but do something that you enjoy. Forget about what anyone else on YouTube is doing. Forget about Google. Forget about bodybuilding.com forums. Do what you're craving and what is considered a cheat meal for you. Now, if you want to opt for the cheat day, keep in mind that you might gain some weight. Even if it's one day out of the week, that's a lot. I see people like, downing for breakfast, IHOP pancakes, and then they go for lunch somewhere else and dinner, and they probably, consumed close to 3,000, 4,000 calories. Now, granted, one day isn't going to kill you, but if you keep doing it every single week, it will add up. So just be smart about it and do what you want to do. That's all I could say when it comes to the cheat meal. It's really nothing complicated. There are studies, that say cheat meals aren't that great for you, and then there's other studies that say cheat meals actually boost your metabolism. So, same thing with exercises. There's forums that say this exercise is so great and beneficial for you, and then there's other people that say no, that'll mess up your knees when down the road. This will mess up your spine, what have you. So it's a gut thing. If you're the type of person that is so analytical and can't thoroughly enjoy a cheat meal, then I have to say cheat meals aren't for you. Maybe try doing something more of the if it fits your macros type mentality, which I do. I do MyFitnessPal, but definitely check it out. When it comes to the cheat meal, try to do it the latter half of the week and something that you personally enjoy. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm looking to get a professional camcorder when it comes to these vlogs. I'm definitely going to start taking it to the gym. As of right now, I'm just using my MacBook camera. But I appreciate all the positive comments and the likes and the views that you guys are giving me. Granted, it's not a lot, but I absolutely appreciate it because, I'm a personal trainer. I have been for about 1.5 years now, and I absolutely have a passion for this. So if you have any questions or ideas for other videos, please comment below. If you could subscribe right here, check out my last video right here. And thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay healthy.